Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm going to be talking about the most powerful strategy to build self-confidence. So if you're trying to build your self-confidence, then I believe that this is the best strategy that you can use to be able to build that self-confidence, okay? So one of the things that I want to talk about to begin with is that it's really important that you set yourself up to win, because one of the reasons why people lose their self-confidence is because they get beat down by life and they haven't set themselves up to win. And what I mean by that is that they haven't been, that maybe your goals have been too big, right? And you've been trying to do something and it just hasn't been working, and you just keep on feeling like you're being beat down by life. Okay, so you need to first of all look at the things that you're doing and see if you can find a way that you can set yourself up to win. You should at least have a couple of wins throughout the day. Maybe a win for you might be just making sure that you complete a workout, or maybe it could be something like doing the best job that you possibly can when you're at your job. That's one of the best ways that you can actually feel really good about yourself, because sometimes when you're in a job, especially a job that maybe you've been in for a long time, you can start to slack off a bit. You can start to not put your best foot forward. But one of the things that you can do to build yourself up a bit is by like, okay, today I'm going to do my absolute best at this job, and I'm not going to slack off, because when I slack off, I don't feel quite as good about myself. But when I'm, trying to do my job and I'm trying to do it really well, and I'm trying to help the customers or whatever, or I'm trying to just do this job really well, whatever it may be, that makes you feel really, really good about yourself if you go for a whole day, where you tried your absolute best at your work. Okay, so you got to do things that set yourself up to win, such as, well, having little goals for yourself, right? Instead of having this big grand goal that in the future that seems really far away and it's going to take a lot of time to achieve, then have like little daily goals that you can complete and make that, because that'll make you feel good about yourself. Because if you check everything off your to-do list, you're going to feel really accomplished. You're going to feel really good about yourself about that, right? And you're setting yourself up to win because you're doing little manageable things that you can do during the day, which is really important. That's the key here. They've got to be things that are manageable. They've got to be things that are not going to overwhelm you. Okay, now of course it's okay a little bit to have something that's going to stretch you past your comfort zone somewhat, because you don't want to be doing really easy things, because that's not going to make you feel good either. So it's about finding that sweet spot where you're doing things that you can do, but it may stretch you past your comfort zone a little bit, just so you've got that challenge and you feel like you've beaten something. Okay, so you've got to do things that set yourself up to win, rather than setting yourself up to lose. So for example, another example of this is someone who sets themselves up to lose is if they're trying to date someone who clearly isn't interested in them. They're trying to, let's say that they're friend zoned or something like that, and they're trying to make that person fall in love with them. If that person has friend zoned you, then you should really be leaving that person alone and backing off from them, right? But this person is setting themselves up to lose because they're dealing with someone that's not interested in them, and that's only going to make them feel bad about themselves, right? So it's better when you're dating and things like that, is that you've got to try and find a way to set yourself up to win, right? So you've got to be focusing on those people that are actually interested in you, and stop focusing on these people that have friend zoned you or have lost interest or have dumped you. Focus on finding someone who's really enthusiastic about you and who you're really enthusiastic about as well, because that is setting yourself up to win and making you feel good, right? And it feels really good and it makes you feel confident when you have those kinds of successes. So another point that I want to get into is you have to be making progress and feeling like you are improving. This is one of the ways that you can definitely feel more confident in yourself, if you are making progress and feel like things are improving. So you got to think about the different areas of your life that you want to improve. You got to think about the things that you would like to make progress on, and how you can actually make more progress on those things. So maybe you've got a side business, or perhaps it's to do with your work. Maybe you're trying to get that promotion. You've got to be thinking about ways and trying to make your life better for yourself, okay? Because if you feel like you're making progress, and if you feel like your life is improving, even if it's happened very, very slowly, but you can still see the progress, then that's going to make you feel really good about yourself, because you're like, yes, okay, it's not taking a lot of time, it's taking a long time for me to do this. It's a long process, but I can see the improvements. I can see myself getting better. I can see that I'm getting more money, or I'm getting more confidence, or I'm getting more fulfillment, or I know that I'm doing a better job now than I did when I started out. I'm definitely making progress. Things are definitely improving, even if they're just really tiny, small increments, right? So it could be that instead of I saw a picture online actually, and it was like this guy who, or it may have been a girl, I can't remember, but it was like a room, and there was just a mattress on the floor, right? And then the next photo, like side by side, is the same room, but instead of there just being a mattress on the floor, it's like a full bed, right? That's improvement, right? Even if it's just small, it may not seem that big, that's still improvement. That's still better than what it was, right? So that's how you got to see your life, and how you got to try and make life better for yourself. You got to try and make these small improvements. They don't have to be big improvements. They don't have to be overnight successes. They don't have to be like you go from 0 to 1 million in a week when it comes to money. It's just about making small improvements, okay? And sometimes those are the only kinds of improvements you can do until things start to really manifest better for you and start to make bigger progresses, right? Sometimes you have to start with the small improvements, because what you'll find as well is that there's a turning point, right? So when you start improving your life, and you're improving it slowly and gradually, and you can start to see these slow improvements, what you'll find is at some point there'll be like a huge boop, and you'll go, and there'll be like a huge improvement. It could be like a big paycheck comes in, or it could be that you move to a way better apartment or way better house than what you was living in before, and there's just suddenly just a massive improvement, right? Just it feels like out of nowhere, but if you look back, you'll be able to see that there were small little steps adding up to it, okay? So you got to feel like you're making progress and that things are improving, because that will make you feel better about yourself. That will make you feel like, yes, I am getting better. I am doing more. That confidence starts to build. Okay. So another one, this is really, really important. Okay. And I talk about this quote a lot, but you can't sit around and be idle. Okay. If you want to feel better about yourself, then you need to take action. You have to take action. You can't just be sitting around doing nothing. And there's that quote that I talk about by Dale Carnegie a lot. And the quote is, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy, right? So if you want to build more confidence and more courage, you have to take action. You have to be trying to improve your life. You have to be trying to make your dreams a reality. And you got to be taking action and doing things to make those things a reality. That will make you feel excellent about yourself. If you feel like you're improving, if you feel like things are getting better, if you feel like you're doing all you can to make your life better, you will feel better about yourself. If you just sit around and do nothing, that is one of the best ways that you can feel absolutely rubbish about yourself. So if you want to feel rubbish about yourself, it's super easy. You just do nothing. If you want to feel good about yourself, you have to take action. You have to. Whether it's just going for a long walk, or exercising, working on your side business, or trying to resharpen your skills so you can be better at your current job, whatever it may be. So find out what you need to take action on and do it. Okay, so this is a good question, right? This goes into my next point. So you got to ask yourself, what would make me feel proud of myself today? And then do it. And then you ask that question every single day. You ask yourself every day, before you get out of bed, maybe, preferably, and you got a bit of paper that you can write down that's next to your bed, so you know what to do. What would make me feel proud of myself today? What should I do to make me feel proud of myself today? And write down whatever it is that you need to do that will make you feel proud of yourself, and then go and do it. That's it. Okay? So another way, obviously, that you can make yourself feel better about yourself is, exercising and taking care of your body. Really, really simple one, although it can be very difficult to give yourself the willpower to go and exercise. I always feel better on days I've exercised and worked out with weights. I always feel better on those days. That always makes me feel better about myself. That always makes me feel more confident. Taking care of your body, making sure it gets the nutrients that it needs, right? One of the best ways you can do it. Very, very simple, although a lot of people struggle with it. So I know it's not easy, but it's one of those things that really does make you feel better about yourself and makes you feel more confident. Because when you start to see that, you start to fit better in your clothes, you feel better. Now, for me personally, like recently, I gave birth to a baby in December. I had a baby. I've got a mum body at the moment, right? And for a while, I was really getting quite big, like after having the baby. Now I'm starting to slowly get back down to my original weight that I was before pregnancy. But I feel so much more better. I feel so much more like myself since I've been really making a huge effort to try and lose the weight and to feel better about myself. And, I had a lot of health issues as well after giving birth. Like, I really done my back in from picking my baby up. Like, I felt like I was a cripple. I was worried as well because I was getting spasms in my legs from this back pain. And I was really worried that I would done permanent damage. But luckily it was just muscle. It was muscle weakness. So I just needed to build my muscle back up again. But, it's really important that you take care of your body and that you exercise and you work out. Otherwise you can have health issues later on. And sometimes you can get to the point where there's nothing else you can do. I thought that I'd got to that point. And I was like, oh my God, this is just how it's going to be for me. I'm going to have to get a blue badge, all right, to put on my car. Because I was just so worried. But anyway, I'm fine, so it's okay. But, these are things that you need to think about. You may get to the point where because you didn't look after your body, you just lose it. And if you don't use it, you lose it, essentially, right? So it's really important that you exercise and take care of your body. It's essential. Otherwise, you could end up in a wheelchair or something like that, or if you hurt yourself. So it's really important that you can try and maintain a really healthy weight, and you build your body nice and strong by using weights. Obviously, get some help with that. Go to a gym, get a physical personal trainer, whatever it may be to help you with those kinds of things. Okay, so very basic one, but it's so important that you exercise and take care of your body. So the last point that I want to talk about, and this is quite a unique one, and that is confidence comes essentially from doing something really well, right? So if you've got a lack of confidence, it may be that it's in a certain area, right? So it could be that, say, with dating, relationships, or it could be in your work or in your ability to do something else. So you've got this lack of confidence in this area. So like another example might be you have social anxiety, you're not a very good speaker. Then if you want confidence in that area, then you need to get good at doing that. You need to get good, whatever it is, you need to find a way to get really good. And because like I said, confidence comes from doing something really well. So you need to look at those areas that make you feel weak, that make you feel unconfident, and find a way to improve those things so that you start to do them really well and you become an expert. Okay, so what can you do to become a master in this area? It could be that you're afraid of driving. Well, if you're afraid of driving, then you need to get yourself a driving instructor and start learning how to drive. And you need to drive more so you feel more confident at it, so you feel more competent. Because sometimes a lack of confidence is really coming from a lack of feeling like you're not competent at something. So those areas that you need to improve, that you feel like you need to improve because you don't feel confident in those things, you need to practice those to get better. And therefore you'll become more confident in those areas, and those areas will no longer be an issue for you. Okay, especially if those areas are super important, like for example having social anxiety. You're always going to be dealing with other people no matter where you are. Even if your job is mostly at home, at some point you're going to have to go out into the world and talk to people. For example, that say you need to get your car fixed, then you need to call the garage. But if you're afraid of phoning the garage up, then you're obviously going to feel really unconfident and crummy about yourself when you try and do that, and you're going to feel like defeated. You're going to feel like, why I can't even make a phone call. What's wrong with me? Right? And I get it, I've been there, right? So you need to get better at doing those things so you feel more confident. And that's essentially it, right? You've got to look at those areas you don't feel confident in and find a way to become better at those things. And the only way you can really feel better about those things is by taking action and doing something about it, and not sitting at home and thinking about it. Like Dale Carnegie says, you have to take action, because action breeds confidence and courage. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.